The eDiscovery Center in SharePoint 2013 gives you a single place to manage discovery across SharePoint and Exchange. SharePoint 2013 has improved the way organizations can save time and minimize risk with in-place holds on content, near real-time search, and the ability to handle multiple content types. So eDiscovery is organized around cases. So here you can see where I can create a new case, or for this demo, I will go to Northwind Traders, which was a case that was already set up. So here is a case page, and eDiscovery cases are basically just another type of collaboration site. So here you can see on the page that a case is broken up into two main sections. The first section is this identify and hold, which is where you can identify what material you want to track and which ones you want to preserve or put on hold. This second piece is search and export. This is where I can set queries to identify specifically what data I want to export out for this eDiscovery case. So eDiscovery is organized around cases, which are just site templates for collaboration sites. As you can see, I navigated to Northwind Traders, which was an eDiscovery case that was already created for this demo. So each case gets its own page, and it's broken up into two main sections. So the first section is this identify and hold right here, and then the second section is this search and export. So I'll look into this eDiscovery set that was already created for this case. This set's called Northwind Holds. Some of the material that I can discover or locate in this eDiscovery set are Exchange mailboxes, link IMs, link meetings, also different types of SharePoint content. Here in this section, you can see where I can add and manage the sources. So if I go click on this add and manage sources, this will pull up a modal window where I can identify other Exchange mailboxes that I want to track, and then also different types of SharePoint content. So here you can see where I can add and manage my sources. You can see under mailboxes that I already have Sarah Davis here, since I already specified this Exchange mailbox. If I wanted to add another Exchange mailbox, I could easily just type in the user's name right here, and it'll auto-suggest names from the global address list. I could also validate the user's name right here as I'm typing. Here you can see the locations within SharePoint or file shares that I can identify for this eDiscovery set. So here you see documents and discussions are already selected, and then I can type in another location here if I wanted to add another source to this eDiscovery set. Here you can see what I've already placed on hold, and then some of the items that have already been found for this set. So for example, if I wanted to filter some of the content by the word finance, I could set that filter. I could also specify a specific date parameter or an author sender for my Exchange items. But for this example, I'm just going to stick with the keyword finance. So if I apply this filter, you can see that the number of items has significantly reduced. So the next thing I want to talk about with this eDiscovery set is the in-place holds. So in SharePoint 2010, you could place content on hold, but users could not modify that content. In SharePoint 2013, if you were to place content on hold, users can still edit documents, modify the content, and also delete it. And the version that was saved at the time of preservation will be available for you. This includes SharePoint content and also Exchange content. So here I have disabled in-place hold for now because I'm still maybe trying to search for my items that I want to place on hold. There's this section right here where I can see what content I've put on hold or placed on hold. So here you can see 3 items are currently processing to be on hold, which means that it's been identified as something I want to preserve. If I click in place hold status here, I can see specifically what is still processing, which was in my eDiscovery set. So as many of us probably already know, legal review can cost thousands of dollars per gigabyte, so reducing the amount of content you hand off for your legal review is an important part of the eDiscovery process. The new eDiscovery page, which I can get to right here, helps you identify and reduce your data set by using keyword syntax, property restrictions, and refinements. So queries can actually help you reduce the size of your content that you export out and hand off for your legal review. So here you can see that a query has already been created with the word Northwind, and if you remember back in the eDiscovery set, there were over 170 items just for Sarah Davis's mailbox. And just by applying this query with Northwind, you can see that the items have significantly reduced down to just 2. So if I scroll down, you can see the specific Exchange items right here for these results. And if I hover my mouse over each of these items, I get a live preview of each of the items, and I can also filter by message type. So if I wanted to specifically look at email, this would set that property to just show the results that are email, which you can see here, these are already emails. If I went down to tasks and I click apply, you would see that nothing matches that search because there are no items in the Exchange tab that are tasks. So if I want to go ahead and just clear my refiners to go back, you can see that there is also a SharePoint tab, which highlights the specific SharePoint content for this query. And as you can see, it pulled no documents or discussions from SharePoint with the word Northwind in it. Once I've identified the search results that I do want to export out to my legal team to review, I can click Export right down here. And here you can see that it gives me a few options to export this data. So I can name this the Northwind audit since I know what data I'm actually exporting. Here you can see options to remove the duplicate Exchange content and also include some of the SharePoint document versions. And here you can also see an option to include items that are not that are encrypted or have an unrecognized format. Here you can see an estimated total of what exactly you're exporting so you know what's being downloaded to your computer and what queries you're including in this export. So the export content uses industry standard format called EDRM, or Electronic Discovery Reference Model. So this is compatible with third-party tools that you can use for your review process.